Oh, we're live to the internet.
Oh, are we?
Sponsored by Apple Music.
Well, all right then.
No, not
Yeah,
really.
we're actually we're the extended halftime show. Welcome.
Extended halftime show. That sounds about right. We love our sports ball here.
Yeah, boy, sports ball never gets old. I mean the term sports ball.
So, of course.
CJ, you're missing a whole shelf back there.
I am. You are correct.
And I see a Dragon's Lair poster.
Yeah, you do.
I see, I don't know what that is, like some kind of collage. I've been down for a montage too.
That's his collection of tourist magnets, right?
Yes, that is magnets. So those would normally reside on a refrigerator. But when we moved, my wife is like, no magnets on the refrigerator.
You don't have a refrigerator in the new house?
We do, but you apparently
so eco-conscious.
You built a new place for them. So
you built a salt house in the back.
I got a metal panel that will hang up on a wall, and the magnets are on there. So
I don't believe it's going to hang up on a wall until I see it hanging on a wall.
That's what it's made for.
It will be near a wall.
The wall.
Yeah,
that
it's
is
leaning against the wall.
It's currently leaning against
the
wall.
I see a Pac-Man Plus arcade marquee, and I see a lit up ghost lamp back there. I think.
Yeah.
You got lots of stuff going on there, Johnson. Oh, Cubert.
Let's see my signed Cubert.
Yeah.
There.
What I find so interesting about CJ's taste in home decor,
Super Pac-Man as well,
is that CJ is very, very tall.
Yes.
He only decorates his room up to about waist level.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
It's so as short people can admire the artwork.
I mean, that's very kind and considerate.
It's an artwork for the cats that are roaming around. Yeah, they enjoy it. Hello and welcome to episode number 898.
Oh, had we not started yet?
One podcast. No, we haven't.
Oh, okay.
We're Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
How's it going there, sir? How was the Super Bowl halftime show?
You can't say that.
How was the big games halftime show?
Why can't we say Super Bowl?
You want to get us sued?
Yes.
Well, I guess we know where our Patreon funds are going this week, folks.
There you go. What'd you think? What'd you think of the what the youngins think of the?
I was informed when Usher appeared on stage. I was informed that he looked so extra.
Okay.
I didn't ask what it means.
That means good.
Okay.
That means good.
Cool.
That means smushable.
Right.
I mean, I recognized one song. No, probably 3 songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, that's cool.
Turn down for what? Of course.
Okay, 4 songs.
The Alicia Keys.
The Alicia Keys song. Yeah. Was it the what was the other one? I mean, there was obviously the last song I got. Like, it was cool to see Ludacris there.
Yeah.
And Lil Jon. But yeah, there was one other song I recognized.
There was one song I recognized mainly because it was used in a Rockafire Explosion video on YouTube like 10, 15 years ago. The Rockafire Explosion is the band that played at Showbiz Pizza or Chuck E. Cheese.
I did not know that.
First of all,
Animatronic.
Not Chuck E. Cheese. That was a different band.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Rockafire Explosion was pure Showbiz.
Just Showbiz.
How many members of the Rockafire Explosion can you name, CJ? You grew up in the Chicagoland area. What's that?
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob, the bear. Yeah. Nope.
That's it. That's all I got.
Just Billy Bob.
Yeah, probably.
Who was the leader? Who played the keyboards?
As the gorilla, I don't remember the name.
His name is Fats.
Fats. All right.
See, I just want to point out. I just hang on a sec. I just want to point out. Last week, in our after show,
right,
you were so incredulous that people would think that you would remember useless shit from 30 or 40 years ago.
Right.
And here you are naming the band members.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the thing. I could name all the members of the Simpsons family. Can I remember everything that they've ever said? No. If you ask me,
I'm just saying it was a weird look for you to be surprised that people thought you would remember
dialogue during his pre-show birthday celebration. I can't do that.
You've got a well-deserved reputation. That's all
I could absolutely name all the members of the Simpson family and probably a lot of the peripheral characters. Sure.
I feel like it's weird that you're saying that remembering the names of the Simpsons family is the same as remembering the names of whatever the name of this band is.
It's the Rock of Fire Explosion.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a YouTube video where they perform "Love in This Club" by Usher, and that was one of the songs in the halftime show. And I know it more from the Rock of Fire Explosion performance than anything.
Well, this is one of those instances where the cover kind of outshines the original.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
No,
somebody who like purchased or salvaged all of the band members and then reprogrammed them to play new songs is how I know of that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm surprised you haven't seen that, Phil. Since you're such
I don't follow their post
fan, apparently.
I don't follow their post breakup career.
Once Phil left as a roadie, he just
yeah.
Man, those were days, though. Let me tell you.
But I did. I watched the halftime show because Greg was going to have to watch it, so I wanted to know when it was over so we could start recording. And it was pretty good. Seemed good. Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I just figured CJ would tell me when it's time to record.
And I did. Look at that.
He did.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Well, I'm missing the big game. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, when Tay-Tay takes the field and demands that the citizens rise up into her new world order, I'll be
the first one there.
Well, I won't be because I'm going to be missing it because I'm talking to you two goobers.
This old world order sucks.
Yeah. So.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Talk about some video games. Let's not talk about the big game. Let's talk about video games.
Talking about the big game. That ain't it. Chiefs.
Yeah. Wow.
They're playing in the game.
I wouldn't call it playing.
Uh-oh.
Have you seen this?
I don't know. The second half starting up. Maybe it'll be better. But
it was
pretty bad.
10-0.
It's 10-3 now.
10-3. Okay.
I watched a couple movie trailers that aired during the game.
Yeah. I like the commercials during the Super Bowl. That's it. That's about it.
It's an original take.
I know. Yeah.
I watched the Deadpool trailer.
Ooh.
Looks like it could be good.
Okay.
I watched the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which I'm excited for. All these recent ape movies have been good.
Yeah.
And I just watched the trailer for Twisters.
Oh,
the sequel to Twister.
Is Chris Pratt in this one?
He is. He plays the Twister. I mean, it's not like him in a suit, but it's clearly him doing the voice.
I see.
I'm gonna blow down your barn.
I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
I don't either.
You've seen Twister, right?
No,
I've actually never seen Twister either.
You've never? No,
I don't like that whole era where they were so into like natural disaster film.
Volcano and
checked out completely. I wasn't remotely interested in any of them.
Well, see, I'm surprised CJ didn't though, because Twisters were a genuine threat where we grew up.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, we had school preparation drills for Twisters.
We did. Yeah.
Which were terrifying. Holy cow.
I was never that terrified.
You
have to go sit out in the hallway, and that was about it.
Now we got down on our knees,
and
we curled up into a little fetal position against the wall.
Yeah,
and we had to use our hands, and we had to put our hands behind our head,
like they were teaching you how to get arrested,
to shield our napes. because the idea was
Planet of the Napes.
we had to protect our
Check your neck.
our neck
Yeah.
because
Like
a
Wu-Tang
flying
Cut?
shard of glass could sever our spinal cord.
CJ likes the Wu-Tang thing.
Yeah, that was good.
It was terrifying.
Okay.
Did you not do that at school?
No, we didn't.
They didn't give a shit about you kids at your school.
All we did.
How do you
was,
think Kanye turned out the way he turned out?
I guess so.
Well, that wasn't. Yeah, that was later. I mean, that was earlier.
Just
the
go place your
hurricane
face right
drills
up against the
were-
glass windows, kids. Get a
We're in
good
the
look.
suburbs. Yeah.
Get a good look at the tornado
I
coming.
didn't say hurricane. I meant tornado.
If you see some debris flying at your head, maybe put up your arms.
Maybe. Yeah.
But don't worry too much about it. Oh yeah, we were very much duck and cover kind of
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this: the Twisters.
Yeah.
Looks exactly like the first movie, like
They have
just with a
CG,
less
Owen Hunt and
charismatic cast.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Well then. Speaking of storms, a storm is brewing
you're welcome, CJ.
in Xbox land. Yeah. We've been talking about this for a few weeks that there have been rumors that Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves are coming to other platforms. And that kind of intensified last week when rumors that Starfield and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle are going to be multi-platform as well. So, and then those rumors started gaining steam. No pun intended.
Oh, they're going to Steam?
I thought we were just talking
believe
about
they
like PlayStation and Switch.
I believe they are going to release on Steam anyway, right?
Oh,
Releases everything on Steam.
sounds epic.
Huh. They wish. And so everything kind of swirled, and then Phil Spencer,
Like a Twister.
like a twister. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And Philip Seymour Hoffman was in the first Twister. So there's a Phil connection.
There it is. Yeah. So
It's
Phil
all
Spencer
coming back.
said on Twitter that they are going to have a business update event
Oh,
this upcoming week where we will hear more about the future of Xbox. So
the future, CJ?
in the year 3000. Is
There
it
you go.
3000 or it was 2000?
It was 2000, yes.
Yeah.
Come on.
Conan's
you don't
been on
remember
TV
that?
for a while.
Even I remember that.
I remember.
I
Yeah.
didn't even watch it that much.
Yeah. But so yeah, and then there was a rumor that Gears of War is going to come to PlayStation as well. So there've been kind of a lot of things happening, and apparently Phil Spencer during an internal update meeting said that they are going to continue making Xbox hardware. They're
Oh,
not going to stop making consoles. So once speculation started that Xbox titles were going multi-platform, that was the next step, that they're going
Right.
to get out of hardware. But apparently not. Apparently they are not going to get out of hardware. So we shall see what the business update has for us. But what do you think of all of this news?
well, Greg is a hardcore Xbot, so he's left the conversation.
Well, he went for a cry right now.
Yeah,
He had to
he's
shut off the camera
saddened.
because
Disgusted.
he bleeds green. I hear.
Oh, man. That's good.
Yeah.
You know who else bleeds green?
Kermit?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Who? What?
I was going to say Vulcans
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah,
from the Star Wars. They bleed
I've heard of it.
green blood.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. Real big Xbox fans. So what is your question? What are you wondering here?
Oh, yeah. What do you what do you think, Phil? What's your take
Sure,
on this?
I think it's
What-
great.
Take on all this system war stuff.
Man,
and
System
Xbox
Wars.
going multi-platform. Somebody pulled out the EGM article that I wrote back.
Uh-oh.
when Sega went multi-platform,
Oh, really?
and
Were you
just
get it?
wondering about that time when a hardware maker decides to make
Yeah.
titles for other platforms. And I mean, 3DO did that as well, but
But I mean, with 3DO and Sega, they were announcing the death of the hardware.
That's right.
They weren't
This time,
just saying they were
no.
going multi-platform. Like I had a small conversation about this on at work with a couple of the folks who post in like the video games Slack that we have.
Yeah.
And just like the people were comparing it to that too. It's like, this is not the same thing. I mean, unless they come out and say the Xbox is dead,
which they're not going to do.
Which they're not going to do.
They're not going to do it.
It's not at all the same as anyway. It was, you know, in those two cases, it was the survival of the company. Going multi-platform was about existing after the hardware was gone.
Right.
But
yeah.
Anyway,
this is completely different than that. So yeah, I guess we'll find out which games might be coming multiple platforms this week.
Sea of Thieves,
Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
That's it.
I imagine we'll hear more maybe about other titles. So I mean, Starfield was in there.
Oh, yeah, Starfield, right?
If that'll end up happening, but I mean, ultimately, if Microsoft wants these games to sell in the many millions of units on console, they kind of have to do this. They're not going to sell in the many millions of units on Xbox hardware.
Well, that was another part of the conversation we were having because Call of Duty came up. And it's like at this point, because the Series X is just, I don't know what they were aiming for with the Series X sales wise, but it feels like it hasn't performed at all.
You know, well, there was a report that PS5 is outselling the Xbox 2-1.
Right. So at this point, it's like locking something like a Call of Duty just to Microsoft hardware would be more damaging to the Call of Duty brand. Than it would help the Xbox brand.
Well, and they got the ABK merger through by promising they would.
Yeah, exactly. But they also promised they wouldn't lay a bunch of people off. So
yeah, that's true too. Yeah. But I mean, Microsoft has to do the multi-platform thing with Call of Duty, and they're going to continue doing it with Minecraft. I mean, why not just do that with other titles too? Why not do that with Sea of Thieves? Why not do it with Hi-Fi Rush? You know, get it in front of more people.
Yeah.
And I think it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, the only people it doesn't make sense to are the console warriors who
Can you imagine being like that? Please don't look up my name on Usenet.
I mean, there was a time when I was a Atari Jaguar stan.
Oh my
God.
There it is.
At least I fought for a system that was worth fighting for. A Jaguar stand.
I'm Trevor McFurious about Atari's treatment in the gaming space these days.
I will agree. It was stupid back then. Yeah.
Oh boy.
But eventually I saw the light, and so all these other people.
Eventually, yeah, I'm sure it took a long time. What? After you played the first game? After you were done with Tempest, did you see the light?
No. It's probably later than that.
That system was such
garbage. Well, you people talk about how great Halo is have never played Alien versus Predator.
All 10 frames of it.
A real next-gen experience.
It's true.
Do the math.
Well, speaking of of doing the math, Yves Guillemot.
You're welcome, CJ.
Defends
Yves Guillemot.
The price of Skull and Bones, that's a $70 MSRP, by calling it quadruple A.
He's been talking to Ethan?
I've heard this term before.
Yeah.
Quadruple A.
It was kind of dumb back then.
Yeah. Because apparently it's a very big game. That's what he
what's the extra A for?
I don't know. What is it? Awesome.
All I know is the next rank up from AAA is S. So
in general. Yeah. Well, they've certainly spent enough money on this game where it deserves an extra A over there. They're normal games, right? But yeah, I mean, he kind of has to say this, right? Like if he's on a financial call,
yeah,
and they want Skull and Bones to do well. They're probably praying that it does well. And they kind of had to release it because otherwise they'd owe Singapore a bunch of money. So yeah, 10 plus years in development. So yeah, we'll see how well it does. But quadruple A, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's certainly one of the biggest games they've ever made, but that's probably due to extenuating circumstances rather than
and I mean he was also it was also in the context of defending it from someone who said it should be more free to play.
Yeah, but I guess why wouldn't you want to try to make some money on the front end as well?
Well, that's what's happening. Yeah.
I mean, if it was free to play, my stance on free to play is that anybody who says, "Oh, this game should have been free to play," it's so that you can play it for 5 minutes and then decide you don't like it and never think about it again. Whereas if you charge some people to get in the door, they're going to be invested in actually continuing with it and seeing it through. So, and free to play games haven't really been doing that great recently, unless you're Fortnite. So, yeah, that's what I think about that. Speaking of free to play games, hey, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Fortnite, they have an event going on. There's
weird you didn't just say speaking of Fortnite, since you did just mention Fortnite.
I guess that's true. Speaking of Fortnite, here's more Fortnite.
You're welcome, CJ.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's a new mini event in there. You can pay about $10, 1,000 V-Bucks to unlock a new track of bonuses, like a premium tier in the Turtle Quests, and unlocks a new Shredder costume. Or if you pay the 1,000 V-Bucks, you also get Shredder as a character. And you can now buy Splinter in there.
Okay.
And they have a whole bunch of Turtles weapons and items and like hoverboards, and there's a turtle blimp glider.
I guess, so Splinter's the teacher, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So they are
Lego variants of all of these as well in the game.
Of course there are. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you purchased this?
No, I did not.
You didn't?
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
Oh, I totally thought you did.
Yeah. No, because there is a free tier. You can play the free tier and just I do want the turtle blimp as the glider. That's like the last reward on there. So I don't know that I'll buy it. No, I don't think so.
I'm a little surprised.
I have April O'Neil. I don't need anybody else.
Okay.
Did you buy it, Phil?
Oh no.
Are you gonna?
No.
Why not?
Well, because that would require me to like actually sit down and play the game for an extended period of time, which.
Well, you can get Shredder without playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You just pay 1,000 V-Bucks, you get Shredder.
Oh, okay.
That's it. And then Splinter, you wouldn't get the alternate Shredder costume.
What is the alternate Shredder costume?
Glowing purple one. It's Super Shredder or whatever.
Okay.
And then you can get Master Splinter in the store.
Right. You can just buy him.
Just buy him. Yeah. But a lot of these items in the quest, they say that these may be offered in the store later. So.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. You may be able to pay actual money and get them later.
But I would imagine it's probably cheaper to do it through this little mini quest.
Yeah, I mean, if you're already playing the game, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's neat. I'm glad to see they're continuing with the Turtles.
Yes, they are continuing with the Turtles. And there's a rumor that One Piece is coming to Fortnite.
Oh, I did see that as well, yes.
At some point. So the true multiverse. And I don't know if you saw the Disney pumping in like $1 billion into Epic.
Yep.
To develop something for Fortnite specifically, like a Disney area.
That's
in Fortnite. So
could be pretty big.
That could be huge. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I see that Lego Fortnite is still doing quite well because you can see the number of players playing each mode from
Oh,
the
really?
main screen in Fortnite. Yeah.
Okay.
But Rocket Racing and Fortnite Festival aren't doing quite as well as Lego Fortnite is.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like Rocket Racing was never going to do well.
I mean,
I don't know why.
It's a really fun mode, but
I mean, is it just like Rocket League?
no,
Oh, it's not.
No,
it's a
actual
racing game more like
It's just like pure racing.
yeah,
Okay.
and it's fun.
Okay.
But, yeah. Well, anyway, I guess we can move into what you've been playing.
Okay.
All right.
Unless you want to talk about Helldivers 2 being PlayStation's biggest Steam launch.
Not at all.
You seem very excited about Helldivers 2.
I'm
You
kind
sent
of
us
excited about it. Yeah.
a video earlier.
Bidao.
I don't know. It looks fun. Looks fun.
Here's what confuses me about your enthusiasm for Helldivers.
What's that?
Here we go.
Go ahead.
So you seem excited about it.
Yeah.
Because it's clearly ripping off Starship Troopers.
That's right. It is
And yet,
clearly.
you have said multiple times on this show that you do not like Starship Troopers.
That's true. That's correct. I don't. I didn't at the time. I don't know.
And that's an
maybe I
incorrect
rewatched
opinion
it.
because Starship Troopers is incredible. I'm going to point
I gotta
out
side-
again
I gotta side with CJ on this.
and see. It's okay. Two people can be wrong about the same thing,
Yeah.
as is the case here.
Well, I haven't rewatched it since. Well, I haven't. Yeah. Since
Why waste your time?
the 90s. Yeah.
It seems like you've been wasting your time since the 90s by not rewatching it because Starship Troopers
Uh-huh.
is an incredibly good movie.
See, that's what you say.
And again,
I was disappointed in it. I think because the marketing led me to believe that it was going to be an action movie. And
right, and you got a better movie than what was
I was
advertised.
disappointed in it mostly because of the terrible story and acting. But
And
Well,
you
there's
got
also-
upset. You got upset that you received a better movie than you were promised, which
yeah,
is wild. But here it is.
No.
Here is a blatant copy in video game form, and suddenly you're like,
Yeah.
finally,
finally they did it.
finally,
Well,
I
they
can
made this-
relive.
There's a Starship Troopers game for PC right now.
That doesn't look as Starship Troopery as Helldivers 2.
I know. I know. It doesn't.
You're right.
Isn't that crazy?
And I don't know
Yeah.
why I'm saying you're right because I'm the one who made the point. But
No, but I
Maybe
watched
you should
the
rewatch.
intro video for Helldivers 2, which I will link in the show notes, and it is
Right.
it's very funny. And
Right.
you're right, it is a complete rip.
oh yeah,
Starship Troopers. But it's great. I love the tone of everything, the very over the top propaganda
yes,
bit of everything. Yeah, I love it.
yeah. Maybe
Oh.
maybe it's time to give Starship Troopers another try.
Maybe, but I just watched Galaxy Quest for like the 15th.
oh, a good movie.
this year.
Also great movie.
Also a great movie.
Two great movies. You can. I don't know why having just watched Galaxy Quest means like you only allowed one movie a month.
Yeah.
Too much sci-fi get you all wibbly.
Speaking of actually neither of those.
Yeah.
But just watching one movie a month. Did you guys check out Greatest Night in Pop, I think it's called?
Oh yeah, I am watching that.
I don't know what that is.
Great.
So it's a documentary about the making of We Are the World.
Okay.
It's awesome. Especially for
It is
old people like us.
It is awesome. And the thing I think that makes it awesome is they have so many recordings and so much footage of
Yeah.
stuff that you never expect to see. Like
When all those artists were just in the studio, because the way they recorded the video was that they just recorded the studio session.
yeah.
Right.
Be like 8 or 10 hour studio session, and they just had cameras running the whole time. So
Yeah.
it's really, really fascinating, and especially if you're old enough to remember when those people were like the biggest pop stars
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
the planet, right? Like even just sitting there watching Michael Jackson warming up while everyone was at the music awards getting ready and just sort of singing on his own is just like, oh my god, this is
Mommy me
amazing.
momo.
Yeah.
And
Anyway,
how
I highly
quickly it
recommend
came
it.
together too is crazy.
Right. Yeah.
How-
And Waylon Jennings leaving because somebody was speaking Swahili. That was fun.
Oh. Huh.
Well, the only thing that it doesn't really bother me about the documentary, but I mean they clearly do have a lot of footage that's real of
Yeah.
the sessions, but then when they have executives talking on the phone or whatever, you can tell it's a dramatization because they have some
On their
generic white
iPhones.
guy talking into a cordless phone, 80s style, but faced away from the camera.
I never noticed that.
And there's film grain on it. It's in the 4:3 ratio. So you think
I did notice that all the modern interviews and everything are in a 4:3 ratio as well, which actually I kind of liked because it keeps it from jumping around too much. But anyway, highly recommended. It was I watched it with my daughter. It was great. It was great time.
What is this on?
Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, I have not finished it. We've been watching it in very short bursts, but
yeah.
It's good. Yes, indeed. All right, well, let's talk about what we've been playing. Hey, it's Steam Next Fest, and I played a couple more demos. If you've not played the Pepper Grinder demo, shame on you because it's probably gone at this point.
Oh, did they take it away?
I mean, it's a Steam Next Fest ends tomorrow, and if you didn't download it and play it, it's probably gone. So you should definitely download it and play it tonight, Phil.
Oh, I did. I downloaded. I played a little bit of it last week.
Okay,
if you have it,
it's very good.
It's quite good.
It's very, very good.
It's quite good. Yes.
But I also played out of that group Pacific Drive, which is a roguelite procedurally generated driving game where you were going
hearing about this
Northwest. It's kind of an alternate history thing where an anomaly in the Pacific Northwest caused the government to basically like make a dome and a like fence around a certain area of the PNW, and you get sucked into it, and now you have to use like a wood paneled station wagon looking vehicle to drive around and collect the materials necessary for you to potentially escape. And it's really quite good. I really enjoyed the demo of it. They have you run through like one run. They have you make one run to learn the basic concept, and I really rather liked it. So I might have to pick this up. It comes out later this month on PC and consoles as well, but there's no demo on consoles, so I had to play it on Steam. So, but I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed what I played of it. So, and there's narration going on as well. It kind of reminded me of Firewatch in a way.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing a trailer and kind of thinking the same thing.
Reminded me of Firewatch, except you're running through like procedurally generated areas. You're doing runs, and that could be cool. That could be really cool. So I'll be keeping my eye on that one. Also played Rotwood, which is a game from Clay Entertainment. You remember Clay? They make Don't Starve and Don't Starve.
Both of them?
A game that I did not like.
They've made a couple other games. I know Mike Phillips is a huge fan of Clay. KLEI, if you're looking it up, Phil.
Yes.
Which
they did what else did they did? They did something that I liked, I believe.
Crazy.
I'm sure that they did.
Yeah.
Their new game is called Rotwood.
They did the Shank games. That's right.
Shank, yes.
They did Shank and Shank 2 and Mark of the Ninja, which I really enjoyed all of those.
Oh, I remember Mark of the Ninja. Yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah.
And then they did Don't Starve, and that became a series.
Right.
Very successful. And now they're doing a game called Rotwood, which is a cooperative beat 'em up style game.
Okay.
It's also a roguelike game.
Because everything is
a roguelike game. Where you go through like almost a Hades style progression, and each screen is called, I guess, clearings, and you defeat all the enemies in there, and you get at the end of those, you collect a crystal, which gives you 2 options for power-ups or buffs. Pick up one of those and proceed to the next room. So very much a roguelike game, and
this looks kind of cute.
It looks cute, and it is a multiplayer game. I think up to 4 players.
Okay.
It has online connectivity as well. It looks really, really fun.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll be keeping my eye on that one. A faux show. But yeah, that demo is up on Steam Next Fest. If you haven't played it, haven't played either of those, do it tonight if you're watching live,
Okay.
or too bad you missed it if you're listening to the audio. You also missed the Skull and Bones open beta, which happened this
Quadruple
weekend.
A.
Quadruple A. Yeah, you could have played a quadruple A game for free,
and you missed out, suckers.
And you missed out. I, however, did not miss out. I played. You could get up to a certain rank in the open beta, and I got to that rank a couple hours ago. So I have played up to the point where the beta kind of ends. And man, it's such a grind fest. This is like they built an MMO. They built a pirate ship MMO basically, and the naval combat is really good. It's just Assassin's Creed Black Flag naval combat, and they filled up this huge map with that kind of thing. But for some reason, it's just really kind of fun. And today I was playing with our good friend Mike, and got into a world event battle where we had 5 player ships fighting 3 or 4 computer controlled ships.
Wow.
And it was just like total chaos on the seas. And it was great. It's like this moment right here is perfect. This is like, I hope that Ubisoft can like bottle this up and market the game this way, because this is the fun of Skull and Bones right here. Are these sort of emergent world events that last 20 minutes or so that other people pop into in the middle of it, and everybody's kind of helping out. There is a PvP aspect to it as well that you opt into.
So when you got into that big battle, then the player ships weren't fighting each other?
No.
Okay.
They were all fighting, and occasionally you'd run into a player accidentally because there were so many ships in a condensed area. But no, nobody was fighting each other. And the PvP is opt in. You have to like signify yourself as a PvP
I like
ship.
that. And
if you fire on somebody, they have to fire back for it to like start a PvP battle. So
that's interesting.
Or there are specific world events that are PvP focused.
Okay. Even if you've already signified that you want to play PvP, if someone fires on you and you don't fire back, then it's not a battle.
Oh, actually, that might be a battle.
That sounds wrong otherwise.
That might be, but I haven't actually had any PvP problems in this one. I've just been doing PvE stuff, just leveling up my pirate crew and getting more and more powerful cannons. That's something you can't do in Sea of Thieves. Like, there's no power differential in Sea of Thieves, whether you have played it for 3,000 hours or 1 hour. You have the same. You have access to the same power. The weapons are the same, etc. But that's different in Skull and Bones. So, uncovered a good portion of the map. It's really nice looking on PS5, and yeah, I had quite a bit of fun with it. And I know some of the folks that we play Sea of Thieves with are going to be picking it up. So, yeah, I'm into it, and I will be playing it. Of course, it's a pirate game. I feel like I need to. And that's pretty much all I've been playing.
All right, then.
Yeah. So, Greg, what do you got for us?
I played a hot new game this week on my Twitch stream.
Outstanding.
Called Clockwork Knight.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
This is the first septuple A game.
Yes.
Finally.
CJ was chugging that whole water bottle.
He really was.
It's pretty
damn
good.
Right.
Should have just shotgunned the thing. No, I was playing shotgun. Jesus, I was playing Clockwork Knight on stream this week. I don't know why I'm bringing it up, just to say that I was playing Clockwork Knight. You know, that 2.5D action game that, had it not been a launch game for a system that went like 6 months with no more games, no one would ever have heard of it.
Yeah.
How does instead we got a sequel?
How does it hold up?
It holds up about as well as you'd expect it to. It's got some cool moments, and that game has always had some cool moments, but it's so weird. It's very mushy controls, very slidey. Was never going to be a classic or anything. But I had forgotten about the Transformers boss in that game. There's I think it's the second boss you face is a transformable jet toy.
Oh, right.
That's when I got to it, it's like, oh right, this is a thing. This is really cool. It holds up pretty well for a Saturn launch game. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it except that I played it. I did also play more Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
I think I'm like 3/4 of the way through now. I actually went and looked up just a chapter list because I especially with the way that game works, where you can basically tackle Alan and Saga's stories at kind of any rate that you want to. You switch freely between them, so they don't. I mean, they move along in parallel, but at the same time, like I don't know if there's ever gets to a point where it's like, okay, now you have to stop and go back and play the other one until you get right to the end of the game, basically. So I've just been kind of randomly switching between them, more or less. If I ever come across, I think it's Janitor's Bucket that you have to find in order to switch realities.
Yes.
And every time I come across one, I'll just hop over to the next one. I've just been doing an area in Alan Wake 2 on Alan's side where I was in a theater watching a forgotten film of one of the characters.
Is this the one where Sam Lake's family and all of the people from Max Payne are in it?
I have not seen that. Maybe it is. I don't know, because I'm still right in the middle of it.
Okay. Yeah, all the actors from Max Payne, except I think one, are in that.
Oh, really?
Movie within.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I don't know if this is the film's called Nightless Night. Is the name of the film, or whatever it is in Finnish, I think is the other language that it's in. Yeah. But no, I haven't seen that yet, but I've just gotten to the point where I need to go back to the projector room. That's like the next step, and then I saved it. But yeah, I had to go and look and see kind of how far I am, because while I'm still really enjoying it and my time has gotten really limited lately, it's taking me, Yoten Yo, or however you actually say that.
Yeah.
It's taking too long for me to get through this game. So I want to know if I'm sort of getting close, because the new Final Fantasy VII is coming out, and I actually really enjoyed the remake.
There's a demo for it.
I haven't played the demo because I want to finish Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
And I also never played the Intergrade DLC for remake, which has got Yuffie in it. I think is the main character in that one. So I kind of want to play that, and I kind of want to play the demo for the new game, and actually get into the new game. I don't necessarily feel like I need to play it as soon as it comes out or anything like that, but I do want to play it because I did end up really liking remake a lot, way more than I expected. Because I never had a massive affinity for Final Fantasy VII. I thought it was good, but I thought it was a step down from the series. The way I liked it, I thought Final Fantasy VI was the pinnacle. I still do, actually. But I can see why, Final Fantasy VII was still really good, and I can see why so many people love it, because it was kind of a jumping off point for a lot of people for role-playing games. I remember I actually had a friend who was working in a Sony store when Final Fantasy VII came out. Did we remember Sony stores?
Yeah.
And he always used to talk about how, like, when that game came out, it was just an absolute zoo at that store, because everybody wanted to buy a PlayStation and Final Fantasy VII. But he also said that they'd never ever received more game returns than they did with Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, really?
At his store. Yeah. Well, because it was such a, if you'd never played a role-playing game before,
right?
And the way that game was advertised, it
if you weren't cinemas, right?
Yeah, if you didn't know what it was not clear at all what you were getting yourself into, right? So Anyway, I always thought that was kind of funny. And then the other thing that I've been playing this week is I haven't gotten through it all the way yet, but I've been playing that Silent Hill short message game. I'm only a couple hours in. I think it's like 3 hours long. It's really interesting. It's mostly there's no real danger. It's mostly puzzle solving. It's mostly walking around and puzzle solving. It's all about teenage girl suicide and stuff like that. Like that's the main thrust of the story. I think it says some really interesting things, and I think it's doing some really interesting things, and some things that, as the parent of 2 daughters, especially, it's definitely tapping into some of the anxiety I have over teenage interaction and bullying and sort of cyberbullying, especially, and that sort of thing. So it's definitely uncomfortable to play in a lot of ways. But it's pretty neat. It's pretty well done. But also, one of my real takeaways from it is they intersperse a lot of full motion video. There's so far there are basically 3 girls that are part of the main story, but you're only playing as one of them, and then the other 2 you only ever see in flashback. Well, you talk to them on your phone via text, but then you only ever see them in flashbacks, and when you see them, it's actually real, like it's video of real actresses. So that's fine, but also the environments look pretty good, but the character model doesn't. Like you can tell that there wasn't a ton of money and time spent on this, and so the character model isn't amazing to begin with. But then, like the when the other 2 characters that you only ever see them, they're actually real people. It just makes the character model look that much worse. Like it really sticks out. But no, I really do like what they're doing with it. I've seen some complaints about it online and like the gameplay, and I can totally see that, because the action gameplay where you can, like, where your character can actually die, you don't have any weapons or anything. It's all chase. Like you're running. And when that happens, the first time it happens, it's pretty straightforward. I think you can run down one corridor, you turn a corner, you open a door, and then it's over. Because there's a creature chasing you. But then every subsequent time, you're in a maze, and it's just the first time it happens, that's fine, but now it's like I think it's happened 3 or 4 times, and I'm just like I'm totally over it. Like it's interesting, I guess, but it doesn't make any sense. Like you'll happen to go through a door, and then suddenly your character's running. So like, oh, I'm in a chase sequence now, I guess. But there's like no rhyme or reason to it. So it's, again, it feels, it's in those moments where it feels so much like a proof of concept. Whereas outside of those moments, it feels like it's an actual story with like a plot line that you're going to carry through to an ending. I actually got to what I thought was the ending at one point, and it wasn't. So yeah, it's definitely got its ups and downs. For free, it's great. And it's an interesting enough idea.
Box quote.
Yeah,
for free. That's great.
It's an interesting enough idea that I think, given some time and budget to flesh out, would be worth it. Would be worth playing. But yeah, it's cool. I'm definitely going to play through to the end of it. But it's not amazing or anything like that. I don't think it'll be held up the way PT is held up.
Oh, yes.
No.
Yeah.
That's a pretty tough act to follow.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that's it. That's what I've been playing this week. Oh, and Ninja Gaiden. I've been playing Ninja Gaiden on my Analog Pocket. I'm into the part of that game now that's way too hard.
The NES one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a good game, though.
It's a great game. Great soundtrack. I don't think that game gets enough credit for its soundtrack.
It's a very good soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's true. All right, Phil.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
Well, as I threatened last week, I sat down and played some of that Good Boy Galaxy game.
Yeah.
That GBA game that you can It's a homebrew GBA game that you can purchase from itch.io, and you get you can play it on your emulator or your Analog Pocket or whatever. And as I mentioned last week, there is a demo version that you can download for free. That is like a prologue to the main game, and I played through the prologue. It took me about 40 minutes to get through, but if you are not as dumb as I am, you could probably get through it a little quicker. It's quite good.
Yeah,
it's a very good little game. Yeah, it's a little side-scrolling game. You are a little space puppy. You got a little space puppy gun. You got a little space puppy jetpack. It is far more kind of exploration and light puzzle heavy than I thought it was going to be. I figured it was just kind of like a, just like a platformer, little hop and bop, a little shooty shoot, a little Mega Man inspired. But it is very much there's a large level that kind of loops around on itself, and you have to explore and collect items and make your way through this kind of maze-like map. And then the way they mix up the gameplay a bit is you will enter zones where you pass through like a little checkpoint, and a little machine zaps you, and it's like, oh no, I don't have my gun anymore. So you have to figure out a way to maneuver through this chunk of the level without being able to defend yourself. Or you'll go through a part where, oh no, it zapped away my backpack, so now I don't have kind of the extended height jump, that sort of thing. So you're sort of working your way through puzzle solving that way. But it works really well. It's got very nice controls. It looks pretty. The animation's really nice. So I'm looking forward to diving into the full game as well, which was $20, I want to say, for the full game. So not terribly expensive.
And apparently it's coming out on Steam and Switch at some point.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the website now. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
I knew about the Steam release, but I did not realize they were doing a Switch port as well. So
yeah,
that's fantastic.
Exciting, yeah.
So yeah, if you want to hold off and wait for one of those, you can. Or if you want like an actual GBA version, it's available right now. And at the very least, you can go check out the demo, just to kind of get you up to speed on the game's story and give you a taste of the mechanics and everything. So it's really cute. Go give it a try. I might even double dip and get the Switch version when that comes out. Yeah, I mentioned briefly. I didn't even put it on my list this week because I forgot, because it had been a while since I played it. But yeah, I did check out that Pepper Grinder demo.
Yes.
Actually, I checked it out last week right after we recorded. I went and downloaded it and tried it. It is really good. I didn't finish the whole demo.
Me neither.
But
I think I went through 3 or 4 stages.
Yeah, I played enough for me to go, yeah, okay, I will enjoy this.
Yeah,
I will get this when it comes out.
That should be coming out on Switch and Steam pretty soon.
Excellent.
With Next Fest demos, generally they want you to participate if your game comes out in the next 6 months. So
okay, that's good.
Yeah, usually it's very close to release at that
nice
point. Yeah.
The only other thing that I really played this week was I busted out the old Quest 2, my little VR helmet, and I downloaded the Ghostbusters game for it. Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord.
Yeah. What prompted this? Other than
what
liking
prompted
Ghostbusters?
Well, I do, I enjoy a good Ghostbusting.
Sure.
What actually prompted it was getting an email from Meta saying you have some store credit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
those too.
I don't know how I got it.
Okay.
I don't know what I did, to get it, but it was like,
have it.
you should use this credit because it's going to expire soon. So I was like, okay, let me go see what I got on my wish list.
Yeah.
And the Ghostbuster game was on sale.
Oh, very nice.
Plus my credit. So I figured, okay, I'll check this out.
Yeah.
So I did. And it seems like it's kind of fun. It's a multiplayer game, but you can also play it single player. It starts off, it doesn't throw you right into the multiplayer stuff. It throws you into a couple training levels just to kind of get you used to the controls. And it works really well. You got you got your ghost trap hanging off your left hip. You got your PKE meter hanging off your right hip. And on your shoulder, if you reach up behind you, you pull out the proton wand.
Okay.
And it works really well. And yeah, you go around, you explore levels, doing kind of standard VR game environmental puzzles. Oh, there's a machine that has a blown fuse, and over on the other side of the room, there's a lever you pull and it pops out a fuse, and you walk over and grab it, and then you walk over and plug it in, the standard kind of VR puzzles.
Sure.
But then ghosts show up and you zap them, you throw out your trap, you shoot the ghost, you do kind of like in the console game where they kind of treat it like a fishing game. The fish is pulling left, you pull right to weaken it, and then you drag it over the trap and suck it in. So it's pretty cool. It feels neat. Feels like good ghost busting.
Well, they had an update to it recently that added Slimer to their lineup, and I believe like some costumes from the real Ghostbusters cartoon are in there now that weren't launched. So yeah, that was like an update a week or two ago. So yeah.
Although I'll say this, you play through the couple sort of training levels, and then they say like, okay, we're gonna head back to our Ghostbuster headquarters, and it's not it's set in San Francisco, so it's not the New York. You're not in the New York firehouse. You're in a new,
right.
There's like cable car. There's like a big ghost trap that's built out of an old cable car and stuff like that.
Okay.
But they're like, okay, we're gonna head back to headquarters, and we found some new recruits to join your adventure. And you go back there, and it dumps you into just kind of a random online lobby.
Whoops. Yeah.
So yeah, the first thing, as soon as I get back into the headquarters, there's a guy standing right in my face, and and he's got his microphone on, and all I can hear is just noise. Just, I don't know if it was TV, like a combination of TV, other people in the room talking.
Yeah.
And just this cacophony. And I'm like, oh crap. Okay. This is some rando. So I'm trying to like run around and just kind of check out the different options that I have to choose from. And of course he decides he's going to follow me around and just stand in my way as I'm trying to look at stuff. And I'm just, this is why I don't play online games, because everyone is terrible.
Or at least online VR games.
Everyone is awful but me. And I can't handle this. So
you should play Walkabout Golf with us online.
So
then you won't have people trying to stand.
Well, you're the
your
worst
way.
of them all, CJ. That's not true.
How do you know that?
Because I lived with you for.
Oh, I was always standing in your way.
Huh?
Was I always standing in your way?
Always.
Guess
like
so.
CJ, I'm trying to get a cup out of the cabinet, and you're just like
try to get around this, shorty.
Yelling stuff at me, blaring your TV at me.
Yep.
So I quickly exited the game and then restarted in offline mode, and it worked much better.
There you go.
Yeah. And they have a little AI character, like, so if you're, because one of the aspects of the game is that if you take too much damage or you get slimed, you are out of commission.
Yeah.
In a standard game, if you have a multiplayer team, one of your teammates is supposed to just run up to you and you give each other a high five, and that brings you back into action. But since you can't do that in in a single player mode, they have an AI character. It's a little like kind of goth girl ghost who floats around, and she for some reason also has a proton pack and a gun. So
sure,
one of them self-hating ghosts, and so she'll give you your healing high fives if need be. But it seems cute, so
cool.
Might be more fun if you actually had like people to squad up with. But yeah.
Well,
neat.
do you want to play this online?
Here we go.
I'm assuming the implication here, the unspoken follow-up is with you?
And the answer to that is no.
Okay, well then maybe. You know what? Yeah. Maybe I do, CJ. Maybe
you should definitely. You have Walkabout Golf, don't you?
I do have Walkabout Golf.
You should.
It's a very good game.
It is a great game. You should join us on Saturday for a game.
Ugh.
We'll play the Labyrinth course, and you'll have fun. You don't even need to. You don't need to have bought the Labyrinth course because other folks have it. Only one person needs to have it.
It shares DLC.
It's
very nice.
It is. It's great.
It's very generous.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should try it sometime. It's fun.
Maybe. Question mark. But you know what else? After I quit playing the Ghostbusters game, I was like, oh, I haven't busted out my Quest in a while. You know what I popped back into?
What'd you pop back into?
I popped back into Swarm. You remember Swarm?
Oh, Swarm. Yes, I love Swarm.
Swarm is so good.
It's so good.
I just
comes out in March.
Yeah, I know the sequel
too.
I'm excited about it.
Me too.
Swarm for people who don't know or may not remember us talking about this back in the day. Plays kind of like an old school shooter, like a Galaga style type thing.
Yeah.
Except you're Spider-Man.
Except you're Spider-Man and you have guns.
Yeah. You're in a giant arena with a bunch of floating grapple points, and you rope yourself up to a couple of those points, and you jerk your arms down to kind of elastic spring launch yourself into the air.
Yep.
And you're roping, whip around to all these points, and you rope yourself up into the air, and then you're looking down and you're pew 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 shooting all these little kind of Galaga looking bugs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's a great game. It is a really great game.
So much fun. I mean,
very excited for Swarm.
And you're constantly just like running around. I mean, you're sort of pivoting. You're on a, this game's not designed for you to actually move around other than, you stand in one place and pivot yourself. Yeah. It'd probably be pretty good on a swivel chair, actually.
That's how I play it.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
See, I like
beautifully.
standing for that just because you get that, because it really does when you launch yourself up. It really feels like you're launching yourself up.
It really does. Yeah.
And I think sitting down would lose some of that kind of immersion.
Yeah, maybe a little. Yeah.
But you do get that freedom of movement when you're moving, spinning 360.
Yeah.
Blasting things. What a fun game. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I definitely got to get the sequel when it comes out in a couple months.
Next month.
Next month?
Next month.
Next month.
It's already available for pre-purchase. I already pre-purchased it.
Oh, did you? I should do the same.
Yeah.
Although, to Greg's earlier point, I did notice that they mentioned that the sequel is now a roguelite.
Well.
It's got roguelite elements to it.
But you like the gameplay.
No, I love the game. Yeah, I'm not even saying that as a negative.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's something they changed.
What isn't a roguelike at this point?
Right?
Yeah.
So that's really what I've been playing.
Okay. Well, I guess that means it's time for tweets.
A tweedledee, oh tweedledee, a tweet, a tweet, a tweet and a tweet. Yeah. There we go.
All right. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias, Mr. Nelson, who says, with companies shamelessly ripping off IP, either from expired copyright material or copyright infringement, and twisting them to be violent copies of the source material, what are some ideas you have for twisting an IP?
Oh, I see. We're
man.
talking about like the Winnie the Pooh thing and the
Well,
upcoming
somebody
Mickey
did
Mouse.
a
thing?
horror Steamboat Willie thing on Steam.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because naturally. Yeah. I think you should rip off Starship Troopers and call it Helldivers.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
They certainly did.
I always thought that the Ghostbusters IP actually could get ripped off and you could make a fun game with that. And there have been attempts at that. There's a game called Midnight Ghost Hunt on Steam.
Oh, yeah?
And I don't think it has done well. It's an early access, but I love it. Actually, it is a Ghostbusters game that's not Ghostbusters. But I think it's super fun.
Remember Evolution? Remember that movie?
No.
Yes. With David Duchovny?
David Duchovny, yeah. And who else was in that?
I saw that in the theater, but I don't remember anything about it.
Oh, Orlando Jones. That's right. Julianne Moore and Sean William Scott were the stars of that movie.
What a cast.
And that was
remember anything about that.
That was a Ghostbusters ripoff.
Yeah.
By the guy who directed Ghostbusters.
That's weird.
That's an Ivan Reitman movie.
That's a weird one.
Yeah. I don't know. Given the tone of this question, I feel like I should say no comment.
How about a Luigi's Mansion IP ripoff game?
I mean, isn't that a ripoff of Ghostbusters?
Yeah, you're right.
That's another Ghostbuster ripoff.
Another Ghostbusters ripoff. Yeah, I like the Ghostbusters ripoff games. Yeah, Luigi's Mansion. Oh, so good. I'm so happy that came back. You have no idea. Like, I feel vindicated.
Vindicated. Yeah, I thought that was where that was going.
Because I loved that game back when the GameCube came out, and at a time when nobody else did.
Speaking of
Phil, you might have liked it. I think you probably liked it. Right?
Like what?
I liked Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion?
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion is great.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I'm not one of those weirdos who hates Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
I see in our chat Dustin McKenzie talking about Ghostbusters earlier. Speaking of Ghostbusters ripoffs, says to add a gorilla.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm sure, Dustin knows. Because Dustin's smart.
Yeah. Well, you can only do that if you add Fats from the Rock of Fire Explosion.
Oh, wow.
And then
the Ghostbusters with the gorilla was the actual... The Ghostbusters that we all know and love is the ripoff.
That's true.
Of the Filmation Ghostbusters with the gorilla.
Yeah.
Whose name is Tracy.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah. I have a vast library of fictional gorillas.
What you're saying is we need a quiz based on that.
We need a fictional gorilla quiz.
Oh my god.
Fictional gorilla quiz. There you go. Yes. The after show. Let's make that happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
All
right. Are we on to the next question?
I think we're on to the next question.
Okay.
Are we? Okay. Let's see. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias /listener Scott Chalmers, who says, name a game you heaped praise on back in the day, but in your view hasn't aged well. Bonus question.
Ooh.
Game in question is still well regarded by the general public. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Bonus is the game
Yeah,
questions.
does the
still
public
over.
still hold
Yeah.
it in high regard?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
boy.
there was a game, although I don't think it's something that's held in high regard. I loved. Do you remember the game Stuntman?
Yeah.
Of course.
I loved Stuntman.
Yes, you did.
That game is unplayable.
Oh, really?
Like I went back and tried, and I knew it was tough anyway. It's interesting because the driver games were beloved on the
Right.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
They were really difficult though.
Although not now.
No, I mean physics wise, they were pretty awful. And then Stuntman was kind of like a spin-off of that, right? Like it was the same engine, it was Reflections, I think, developed it as well. And it was ridiculously difficult. And I remember playing through the whole thing for review in EGM because unlike CJ, I actually played my review games at EGM.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. And anyway, finishing it and really loving it. And I tried to play that again recently. And I mean, generally driving games don't age very well. And boy, this one has not. It's practically unplayable. It's really rough. That's the first one that pops to mind.
I mean, Donkey Kong 64.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Which I finished, by the way. Back when I reviewed it.
Bad.
You shouldn't be proud of that. No.
Finished it. I shouldn't be? What?
No.
Okay. I liked it.
Boy.
I don't think it's aged well, though.
Star Fox Adventures?
Oh, God. Star Fox Adventures. I never
CJ was always on the right side of history with Star Fox Adventures.
I never loved Star Fox Adventures. That game's terrible.
We'll give CJ crap about Donkey Kong 64 till the day he dies, but he was right on the ball with Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah. What did I give it, a 4.5 or something?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Not a good game. No.
I do not know. I mean, obviously we know that there are plenty of games that I love that everyone else hates.
Yeah.
But
and have probably aged poorly.
Oh, I'm sure, but
yeah.
I'm having trouble thinking of any that I've reviewed.
You
know.
Well, this isn't review, right? Oh, I guess possibly.
I mean,
it could be anything.
Just heaped praise on. It doesn't.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't say review.
That's true.
By the way, people do still regard Star Fox Adventures as being good.
That's weird.
And I disagree with that.
That is weird.
Completely.
I mean, certainly there are like, games that I had is like Kid Nicky Radical Ninja is one of my go-to old games that I love, but it ain't good.
Yeah.
That's like Batman Returns on the Genesis for me.
Right.
It's I can't defend it. It looks bad, it plays poorly, it sounds terrible.
Yeah.
The Genesis version, but I loved that game.
Yeah, I tried to play it back in the day and just did not get it.
It was so easy to bounce off. It doesn't make a good first impression.
Yeah.
I played it. I only got into it because of the Sega CD version. I bought the Sega CD game because it had those driving sections, and that's always I was playing. And actually, CJ's best friend Mike's best friend Jim was working at the game store where I bought it, and I remember sitting there chatting with him about it one day and just saying like, I only ever play the driving sections because the cartridge game was terrible, right? Yeah. And he was the one who said you should actually try it because it is a good game, but you got to get past the wonky control and the terrible presentation. Right. And he wasn't wrong. There is a good game in there, but it's hidden so well that I don't blame anybody for not giving it a chance.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, let's do this one from hacker alias Nato, who says, have any of you been to any video game orchestra performances? Which game series would you like to see get the orchestra treatment? I've been to a couple.
I have not.
I've been to Video Games Live. I went there once.
Yeah.
That was great. That was really enjoyable. That's the only one I've ever been to.
There was a Final Fantasy. I think the first concert I went to was a Final Fantasy concert in Japan back in, I think maybe even 2000. They did like a whole orchestral thing.
I would love to go to a Final Fantasy one.
And it was fantastic. It was really, really good. And then I've been to the sort of traveling Zelda orchestral performances before. And then I went to another one that was, it might have been Video Games Live, or it might have also been just Square stuff.
Well, was Tommy Tallarico there? Because then you know if it was Video Games Live.
I don't think so. No. It was like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy stuff.
I'm sure if Tommy Tallarico was there, you'd know.
Remember. Yeah.
No, I don't think.
He's not going to be subtle about his appearance.
No, I don't think it was that thing.
Yeah.
It was another Square thing at the Walt Disney Theater that's in LA. There's a concert venue anyway. It was during E3. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah,
but I do enjoy those, especially for series that I am a fan of, like Zelda or Final Fantasy music. I love. So
yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with pretty much any Final Fantasy music.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's true.
I can't think of a series off the top of my head that needs to get that treatment.
Ys.
Really? See, I'm not familiar enough with this series to say.
Oh my goodness! Listen to some Ys music.
Yeah,
I mean, y'all know I love me some Ys, and a good 40% of my love of Ys is just the music. It's good. It's good.
I think you could do something interesting with like a sort of a Game Arts collection.
Oh yeah.
Game Arts generally had really good music in their games. That I would be down for something like that.
Well, and hey, if there's ever like a Sea of Thieves live musical performance, I'd totally be into that.
Just everyone standing around singing sea shanties, or
well, of course, yeah, that definitely.
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
Technically not video game music, but music that was featured in a video game years ago. I went to see Chibo Mato in concert. And they of course played Birthday Cake.
Yeah.
Which was featured in
Jet
Set Radio. And holy crap, it was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. It was Chibo Mato in some little dirty club.
Yeah.
Just ripping things apart with Birthday Cake. It was the best thing, and I loved it. Holy cow.
Awesome.
So there you go.
All right, let's do this one. Last one from hacker alias Codec Gear, who says, if a sock starts developing a tiny hole, do you keep it until the hole gets bigger? How big does the hole have to be before you consider it to be too big and unwearable? Do you throw away the pair, or do you keep? What is this?
So this isn't this is a lifestyle question, right? This is not about a video game.
No,
that's great.
Or do you keep the unholy sock? And Scoop Jessica chimes in here.
You should always keep the unholy socks, for they are the only socks that are worth your time. They're hard to fit over my cloven hooves.
Scoop Jessica chimes in and says, this is a great question. No pressure, guys, but if any of you respond with anything other than I immediately throw it away, along with its matched pair, I'm unfollowing.
Well, get ready to unfollow.
Get ready to unfollow.
Because the answer is immediately throw it away at the slightest hint of a hole. But
really?
You keep... Oh.
What?
Really?
Okay,
first, who sent in this question?
What?
Who sent in this question?
Codec Gear.
Who is the foot fetishist who listens to our show who sent in this question? Because that's what this is really about.
At the start of a hole, I will still keep it and maybe wear it one more time.
Slightest hint of a hole, it's gone.
Oh. Okay.
It is uncomfortable. It throws off the symmetry of my feet. It throws off my balance. get it out of here. However, you definitely hang on to its matching pair because first of all, you know, I'm not a wealthy man, okay? I'm not buying special individual pairs of socks. I'm buying bags of socks.
Sure.
I have a lot of identical socks.
Yeah.
So you save the matching one, you shove it in your drawer. Later on down the line, if one of your other socks starts developing a hole, you get rid of it.
Yeah.
But hey, guess what? I have an identical partner for this newly lonely sock.
Yep.
Now I have a complete pair again.
See, that's what I do, except I will wear a sock with a start of a hole in it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how big does it have to be?
Size of a dime.
Boy, that's
Depends on where it
hole.
depends on where it
Mine'll
is.
be smaller
Depends on
than
where
a
it is. If
dime.
it's down in the toes, then I'll get rid of it right away.
I mean, I would
I don't
imagine
want-
most
I don't
holes
want-
develop
I don't-
in like the toe or the heel, yeah?
The heel.
Yeah.
The heel is where that happens to me.
Yeah.
I get toe holes.
Now, of course, the real answer is that all my socks have holes in them. That's how I get my foot in.
Nice.
And yes, I keep the partner. Also, and I mean, take this for whatever you want it to be. I don't even wear matching socks.
Well, then, no, that's what is going on here.
I don't
You
give a shit.
don't?
No.
I mean, my daughter doesn't, but I do.
Yeah, no, I don't care.
Uh,
Wow.
I mean, I will most of the time, but if we're down to some of those singles and they don't necessarily match, they're still going on my feet.
Wow. See,
when you-
I draw the line there. I don't do that.
when you put your socks away after
But if
I
you
guess
have,
I'm
you
already
keep
making
the
an
singles,
assumption.
you're
When you
keeping the
wash your
singles,
Oh, now making another assumption.
you're keeping the singles. We all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Well, not all my singles match.
Yeah.
So when you put
But
your
you do
socks, I'm
laundry
assuming you
before
wash your
you're at
socks.
The danger level.
Okay, so when I wash my socks, I do
You put them away
pairs
afterwards?
together. I put the pairs together
Mhm.
Good.
and I put them away. And when
Good.
I'm wearing and when I get dressed, if I have a clean pair, I
Uh-huh.
will wear that. But if I have all I have left are clean singles and I haven't done laundry, I will absolutely wear unmatched socks.
But you don't just do laundry at that point. Or you're
Well,
getting
if
low
I'm-
and you do laundry. Okay. All right.
Greg's
Okay.
is always looking for clean singles in his area.
That's right. Constantly. I'll even wear matching pairs for you.
Oh, good.
All right. I think that's
And
a good place.
CJ?
That's how you know
Yeah.
you're special.
And I'm just checking in. You are still cleaning out your lint traps?
Of course. Yeah.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Well, his house hasn't burned down yet.
We don't call it lint storage.
No. We
No.
certainly don't.
No. Okay,
No.
good.
Alrighty, and that is our show for
How
this
about
week. Thank you.
underwear?
What about underwear?
How big does the
Oh,
hole have to
I don't
be?
wear matching underwear either.
Ah,
Holy underwear will go in the trash very quickly, faster
Yeah.
than socks.
okay.
Alrighty then.
I feel like we found a lot out about each other tonight. We've been friends for 20 years,
We
and there's
sure
just
did.
been more than 20
Oh.
years, 25 years. And yeah, there were just things that we didn't know.
Why would you throw out a perfectly good sock when you have several others waiting in the wings to need a
Well,
new
Steve,
friend?
But that supposes
Well,
that you've
I
kept the
wouldn't.
several others. If your policy is always to throw them both out, no matter what, you wouldn't have a collection of others.
Well,
waiting
no,
for
but
friends.
that's again, why would you throw away a perfectly good sock?
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. But
Yeah.
I'm saying the premise of what you were saying there was wrong. Because you're saying, why would you throw them away when you have a whole group of perfectly good singles waiting for partners? But if your policy is to
Are we
throw
still
them
talking about
away every
socks?
time, you're not going to have that group.
Let's see that. But then you're making a mistake. You're throwing away good socks.
I agree.
These socks can go on to do great things. Don't let them go before their time.
True. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to share your sock wearing tips, tricks, strategies, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on social media.
Jeez.
Like X or Threads. And hey, we have a internet website as well, player1podcast.com. That's where you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward. You'll find Generation 16 episodes there as they happen. You'll find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about during this episode, and a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
A lot to unpack there. What
Yeah.
were you doing? Like little air quotes with listeners? Oh no, you were doing like little
chatters.
little chattery
Other people
fingers.
chatting.
Okay.
Chatting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Not air quotes. I mean, come
no.
on.
No, well, that's what confused me.
Listeners.
Our listeners.
No.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening device. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitch.televisions, all over the dang place, as long as it's one of those dang places.
Yeah.
And if you like what you've heard and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. We will, of course, be using your Patreon funds to fend off the NFL's lawyers after we have referred to the big game.
Well, and Greg's been having it reflected in his glass thing.
Oh,
the whole
crap.
time.
Oh,
10 seconds left.
what's the score?
1916 San Francisco.
Oh.
And
Real
KC
nail-biter.
has the ball, 1st and 10 on the, I don't know where they are exactly. They're very close to the
They're
end
on a
zone
football
now.
field.
Like this.
It's in Las Vegas.
They're on the 11-yard line. So
Oh.
this could be it.
So they can do it.
They can. Oh, they almost dropped the snap though. And
All right.
that was no
play
good.
by play. Otherwise, we're going
6 seconds left.
CJ's genuinely
Second and
getting
10.
worried about getting sued.
That's right.
I'll tell you what, your Patreon funds do, of course, help support our show, keep us streaming and everything all the time. And I'll tell you what, friendos, if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
Cheap.
you gain access to a special weekly bonus episode. We record it right after this, where we play games, crack-wise, having fun, doing all that stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ?
Yeah.
Do we have a big game for this week?
Our big game this week is a review game from the
Okay.
February 1999 issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly
That's
magazine.
just before I joined.
Oh,
Yeah.
Actually, I
well,
think
please
it
look
was
forward to that.
2000. June 2000 is when I joined.
Look forward to that.
And I'll tell you what, if you got a couple bucks left over, why don't you head over to patreon.com/Greg Seward to help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And if you are a supporter of the $5 variety,
Cheap, totally also cheap.
who you pulling for in the Super Bowl, Satan?
You know what? I'm just delighted that both of these teams gave their best, put in the effort and the time to get all the way to the championship game. I think they're both winners in my book. I don't like to choose sides. I think
No.
everyone.
You famously don't like to choose sides. I know that.
Absolutely. I'm a true moderate. And personally, I'm just watching for Taylor Swift.
All right.
Natural born Swifty, that's me.
Yeah, I figured.
Yep.
But you only buy Taylor's version, right? You don't want to give the record companies any.
Oh no, screw those guys.
Yeah, right. They're the worst.
And they call
They're
me
worse.
the
They're worse than
greatest evil.
Satan. Yeah, they're worse than Satan.
Thank you.
Yeah. You get access to the Weekly Commute, which is a weekly vlog series that I do talking about the different projects that I'm working on. This week you can tune in and find out how much I hate reading off a teleprompter. All that and more. And all your money goes towards supporting the show, especially paying for my Adobe licenses, because those ain't cheap. And
Oh my gosh, the game is tied.
It's tied. Yep.
19 all.
Wow.
Yep.
This is nail biting.
It will be
Yeah.
eventually. All right. That's it for me.
Is that it?
That's it.
CJ,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil.
Oh, absolutely. Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Philip.
I appreciate it. And of course, a big old thank you to you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners. A single darn one of you. Remember, as always, take care of yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends. Do what you got to do to be safe. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. And my goodness, I hope we see you all next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.